This is the first decision that actually matters, and getting it wrong slows the account for weeks. Last episode was about setting the foundation. This one's about choosing the direction. What I unlock here decides how early the grind feels. This part of the game doesn't look exciting, but where efficiency is decided. Right, so in last episode we finished off with 9 strength, 8 attack, and 11 hit points. Between last episode and this one, I've grinded out some mining, which I reached 15. So we have unlocked iron. We have 10 smithing, which allows us to almost start iron weapons. We need another 5 levels for that. We have 5 cooking, 5 fire making, and 5 wood cutting. Now, the reason why I chose to do the mining is because early on it's better to get some levels before questing, because then it makes more use. Right, the goal for today's episode is to get our smithing up by 5, reach a max combat of probably 10 strength, 10 attack, maybe work on our defense, just so our overall combat level is better, and see where we go from there. I will not be starting any quests straight away, because I want to put some of this grind in before I start questing. Right. It helps if you create a placeholder so that items don't disappear out of the bank. Right, so the goal is to reach 15 smithing. If that means I have to mine more in order to reach it, and then we can get into iron progression, then so be it. Now, the best we can make right now is the battle axe or the warhammer, because that gives us about 30 odd XP. If you look on this left hand side, you'll see the XP. Yeah, 37 every single time we make one. Yeah, we're so close. I'm just going to use that to make a sword, just so we just don't waste a bar. And so there's going to be a bit of rinse and repeat of basically me just mining up the ores to make the bars, and then smithing until I get to 15. And then we can get into the iron territories. I do need a better pickaxe than this, but I need to earn the 500 GP for it. Now the goal is to set the grind is that we have some base levels before we start questing, so we don't have to then grind later, so we can then actually just do the quests without having to really think about it. Now the spot I've been using is the Lumbridge camp. Oh yeah, if I go back upstairs, I'll show you a little trick. If you right click bottom floor, you go straight to the bottom without having to click through. I don't know when they added that, but it's quite an ingenious feature. I know most hardcore / Ironmen start straight away with the member skill of thieving, because that's how they start their account, because it's instant money. I could do that because I can get a bond from my main, but I'm choosing for the first few episodes to focus on a few base skills to reach a certain level. Once we've reached that certain level, then we will do the non-members quests. And once they have been attained, we will then move on. Right, well, I'm going to mine for a while, and I will be back when there's something to show. And now we are approaching a milestone in a few moments. Couple more rocks. And there we have it, the first big milestone on the account, 20 mining, which allows us to mine silver, equip the mining gloves if we're a member, and make size 2 stars, which are both members items. So for now, I'm just going to focus on getting my mining up a little bit more. Well, not the mining specifically, but getting the ores required to get my smithing up to wield iron weapons. Because we are of the level to wield steel. We could buy it, but we're unable to physically buy it unless we do the stronghold and security, which requires our combat to be of a certain level. Now, certain quests in the free-to-play require at least a combat level of 10. We are currently sitting at 8. I mean, you could do the quests if you know how to safe spot certain like mobs and things using magic, but that means we have to raise our magic as well to be effective. We could do it from level 1 and just use the air blast that you get, well, wind strike. But why limit the account? Why make it so hard to get from A to B when we could progress a little bit easier if we spend the time just to get a few levels? It's not hard, but anyway, I'm going to get back to grinding. Right, that's the next big milestone on the account. We now have 15 smithing, which means we can smith iron ore and make iron daggers. So there we go. We've got 15 smithing, 21 mining because of having to mine more bronze. But now we can smelt iron, we can progress significantly faster. I'm just going to smith the last of the bronze into some double-handed swords and finish off this lot, and then we will progress on to iron. So I'll be back when I've got more to show. Right, so now we've reached the 15 and 21 mining, which basically should be 15 mining, 15 smithing, depending on how quickly you get one or the other up. Mining normally outweighs the rest. We will now move on to Alcroid, which you have to pay a 10 GP toll to enter. But the reason why we want this area to exist in is for 2 reasons. Right, 1, there's a convenient bank right next to a fishing spot where we would be training fishing eventually. But also, there is iron in this mine here, which is what we need. Right, so we go down north from when we enter, and that is where we are going to be spending the rest of this time. As you can see, there's some scorpions which you can easily avoid. They only become a problem until you out-level them. See, because they're combat level 14, they will automatically attack you. Once you're at least 10 plus levels above them, they stop bothering you so much. But then there are these slightly more higher level scorpions in here somewhere. See if I can zoom out and see them. Well, there isn't one here. But sometimes you can get a bigger variant of this guy. Yeah, there, see. That's why standing inside these areas is best. See, he won't touch me here, but he will touch me if I get any closer to him. You've got gold here, there's some mithril rocks, more iron all around the place. The only thing is these guys. That's why getting the combat level up is important. We will be working on that at some point, but right now we've got a couple of these guys. Now what I want to work on next is getting my crafting up so I can make... Let's find where are gold ruby rings. So we have to reach 34. Now the reason for that is that I want to make what is called a ring of forging. Now what that does is it makes iron ore less likely to not be smelt when you smelt it. Because currently, if you go onto smelting, there's a 50% chance of success. Once you get the required rings, you can buy them from the Grand Exchange, but Iron Men can't. I don't know off the top of my head if there is a location where I can buy ruby rings from. I may have to look that up and see, but if I can, I then need to get the enchanting gem, which is 49 magic to get level 3 enchantments. Oh, maybe we can't. I'm guessing that is because they require cosmic runes, which is a members item. Does that mean enchanting runes? No, that can be done because it doesn't say members only on it. No, it does that. But then level 5, 6 and 7 are members only. Well, we do plan to eventually gain a membership, so we might make use of that. But while we are on the iron grind, we can either choose to smelt it as is and have a 50% chance of success, or get a ring of forging. But anyway, I'm going to grind for a while and I'll be back when I've got something interesting. Right, now for the next plan of action. I've done mining for a little bit, I'm going to take a break. So I think I'm going to go and slay some chickens. Well, the goal is to get as many feathers as possible because we're going to need it for fishing. So I plan to slay as many chickens as possible and get about 1,000 feathers, maybe more. That will be enough when we get to fly fishing. So, well, you've seen me kill chickens before, so I'm going to go and slay some chickens and I'll be back when I have a milestone to report. Right, well that's another milestone on the account. We now have 10 attack, 10 strength, 23 mining, 16 smithing. We have 4 prayer, and that's it for now. I think what I'll do is that I'll make this the wrapping up point for now. But anyway, I hope everyone enjoyed. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.